Lotus Family. Welcome back to Lotus Phoenix Astro Healer. I'm so grateful that you're here. If you're new to the channel, welcome home. It's good to have you with us. I believe that our timelines have crossed for you to hear the message shared in this video today, and I hope that you will become part of the family by subscribing to the channel and liking the video. At the beginning of the year, we discussed the ingress of the lunar nodes into the Virgo-Pisces axis. Well, we're 6 months into this nodal transit and well on our way to cleansing out old karmic Virgo energies so that we can collectively move towards the evolved waters of the Pisces future. Just to get a clearer context of the storyline that is unfolding, I would encourage you to take a look at the video where we had the discussion about what this transit would bring. The link for that video is in the description box below. Today, this video serves as an energy check-in on the energies surrounding this nodal transit. Of focus, we have Venus, the divine feminine, the goddess of beauty, wealth, harmony, desire, and attraction, squaring Mars, the divine masculine force, the god of war, desire, and they're both making some important aspects to the nodes right now. Mars is conjunct the South Node in Virgo, while Venus is squaring the nodes from Gemini. Planets that are square the nodal axis are said to be at the bendings. But what do the bendings represent? Well, the bendings act like crossroads or pivot points on the soul's karmic journey, where the past meets the future. They represent crises or turning points, karmic tensions between the past and future, and a need to make conscious but sometimes uncomfortable choices that necessitate the letting go of comfort for growth. There is a release, a purification, and detachment of or from Venusian qualities that once served us but may now hold us back. A planet at the bendings is not moving with the nodal axis. It is neither aligned with the head nor the tail of the dragon as it cross-examines both. Venus enters the crucible here. She squares this axis from Gemini, ruled by Mercury, which is the exaltation planet for Virgo. Yet she moves towards the South Node in Virgo, also ruled by Mercury, and is her fall. Because Venus is moving towards the South Node in zodiacal order, she is said to be south bending. This indicates a mercurial Venus being pulled into the dissolving forces of Mercury through the lens of Virgo. She becomes a karmic revealer of all that Virgo has tried to manage, fix, or perfect through logic and control. She doesn't just question what love feels like, she questions how love is being executed, what's being measured, and why the math just doesn't always add up. This is not how Venus is naturally meant to function. She's like a fish out of water here, and she has to reevaluate karmic attachments. These could include overcorrecting in relationships, trying to fix others or oneself to be worthy of love. She could be hyper-analytical of emotional experiences, resulting in disconnection from the heart. She could be expecting and expressing transactional love, where value is measured by usefulness, service, or effort rather than mutual joy or resonance. She could have people-pleasing tendencies disguised as being helpful or necessary, and she could suppress her desires or sensuality for the sake of efficiency, propriety, or order. This is a time when Venus becomes a mirror of karmic love, returning not to comfort us, but to invite us to outgrow this kind of love. She's also a mirror for outdated value systems or unintegrated relational behaviors, particularly those that have kept us from stepping into the Pisces North Node, where one expresses love unconditionally and looks beyond form and sees deep into the soul. Here, she's not just about attraction or beauty. She becomes a channel for transcendence, for healing and cosmic connection. Venus must now choose whether to charm the past or cleanse it. Let us now look at Mars. He's the lesser malefic, the separator, the instigator of conflict, crisis, and decisive action. He is now conjunct the South Node in Virgo, the tail of the dragon, a point of karmic unraveling and release. In Virgo, Mars is precise, surgical, methodical, but also hypercritical and easily inflamed by flaws, inefficiencies, and violations of order. This is not the Mars of brute strength. This Mars attacks with analysis. He wounds with words and slices open anything that doesn't meet his measure of functional love. And now at the South Node, these judgments are not fresh. They are actually ghosts of relationships past, karmic patterns that return like old test papers that he's being asked to finally correct. So how might this energy show up in our lives? Well, old relationships might resurface, not to rekindle, but to release. They force us to confront these patterns. We are being given the opportunity to choose between staying in a secure but unfulfilling relationship versus venturing into a new kind of connection that reflects our evolved values. We're breaking away from cultural or familial values around beauty, gender roles, money, or self-worth. This is not an easy phase for the collective, as we may be feeling conflicted between what we're used to and what the soul is urging us to become. So what is being asked of us here? Well, Mars just ignited the furnace of the South Node, and Venus is being invited to an intense karmic burn-off. The bending becomes the furnace, not a choice point, but a refining fire for Venus. She's walking a scorched karmic path, shedding old habits of perfectionistic expectations of love, overthinking, and overfixing in relationships, conditional affection based on performance or utility, and the trap of always trying to do love right rather than feel love freely. This is a final confrontation with a soul contract that has tested our ability to grasp and release. What was once beautiful now hurts to hold and must be blessed and released. And since this is happening in mutable signs, the signs of transition, we're being asked to loosen our grip, to flow with change, and to release with grace. So let's bring a tarot perspective to this dynamic. Let's narrate this moment through the tarot and ask some deep karmic questions to help us navigate this energy. Venus has been trapped in a loop of perfectionism, always trying to fix, always proving her worth through what she does, not who she is. The Eight of Pentacles reversed shows her exhaustion, her labors for love that never felt whole. The Nine of Swords haunts her as she internalized every flaw, every rejection, every disappointment. And the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, well, that's the shadow lover, the one who stays only if she's useful. Venus is done earning affection like a job. She releases the need to perfect love. Venus is the Queen of Cups. She feels deeply, not for performance, but for truth. The star reminds her that she was always meant to love with hope, not fear. With the Two of Swords, she once denied her desires, split between logic and longing. But the Ten of Cups rises before her like a memory from the future. Not a fairy tale ending, but a vision of emotional belonging that is spiritually true. She can now reclaim this energy, not because she's perfect or efficient, but because she's whole and worthy. Mars thought he was defending the truth, but he was reckless, reactive, and driven more by the ego than purpose. This resulted in a lot of conflicts and arguments where no one truly won. The truth is that Mars was still fighting his own demons and ghosts from the past and was projecting all of that energy onto Venus. But that cost him dearly, and he hit rock bottom. He had no choice but to walk away from his pride and illusions of strength when Venus walked away from him. With the lovers, he had to realize that Venus is not the enemy. They both want the same thing, even if their approach is different, but there has to be a compromise, a point where they meet in the middle. So, the old self had to die. The part of him that thought love was something to conquer, not co-create. He's now clear that true love isn't about manipulation and keeping score. It's about truth, fairness, and balance. Now, he's willing to do the real work, day by day, showing up, healing the karmic wound with devotion, not destruction. Temperance blends what was divided, logic and love, past and future, Mars and Venus. The Three of Cups reminds us that love doesn't have to be lonely or sacrificial. We're allowed to receive joy, connection, and shared delight. And the Ace of Cups, well, that's the promise of renewal of love that flows, not because it is earned, but because it is. I actually heard 2 songs while I was working on this message, and they're both from Usher, and I think they echo this message beautifully. The first one is called Mars versus Venus, and the second one is called Tell Me. I think it would be nice if you would just take a listen to those songs. Maybe they might resonate with you and give you extra messages above and beyond what I have shared. If you have found this video to be helpful, please remember to like, subscribe, join our notification gang, and if someone came to mind while you were listening, take it as a sign that they could benefit from this message. Spread a little kindness by sharing this video with them. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, bye.